Did the Eagles get caught lip syncing? Let's talk about it. So I was watching a video at the Wings of Pegasus site where he takes two different vocal performances of the song Desperado from almost a year apart and compares them on a sound wave graph, and they are an exact match. Now this, to anyone who knows anything about sound, is an impossibility. You cannot get two spoken sentences in the same room on the same day by the same person that exactly match up on a sound wave graph, yet these are an identical match, like a fingerprint match that you get in a murder case. And I'm going to tell you what I think about that, especially in relation to the average price for an Eagles concert ticket. But before I do that, I'd like to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel. I upload new content basically every day. We have a lot of polls and interesting discussions going on in the community section. And if you take a look in the description box below, you'll see links to content I can't upload to YouTube due to potential copyright issues. Anyway, back to the topic of the Eagles and their apparent lip syncing. Okay, so the price for an Eagles ticket, the cheapest ticket that you can get to see the Eagles, is $85, and that would be way up in the nosebleed seats. If you want to get a decent seat, it's going to cost you about $447, and that is not even the best seat. If you want to get in the front row, it's going to cost you $17,000. Now I could make an entire video on what I think of those ticket prices alone and what I think that means about the Eagles as a band, as an entity, as a corporation, and all that. But for this purpose, we're talking about Don Henley's lip syncing and whether or not it is lip syncing. And second of all, what, if anything, does that mean? So first of all, it obviously is lip syncing because, as I said, it's impossible for two vocal performances of any song by anybody ever in the history of the world to perfectly align. This is a terrible thing to do as an artist. It's a terrible thing to do to your fans. It's a terrible thing to do to the music industry, and it's setting an awful precedent. The more that bands are going to lip sync, the less and less people are going to care about music because it becomes more and more like something they could do themselves. And one of the allures of music is always to see someone who's more proficient at something than you are. What should they do if they can't sing their hits anymore? Well, they can stop touring, or they can go out and they can sing them poorly, because your fans are going to love you anyway. If Don Henley came out there and sang the song off key and out of tune and forgot half the words, people aren't going to care. They're going to love him anyway because they love the Eagles. So I think that this is a kind of narcissism and a kind of disdain for the audience that is becoming more and more common among performers, and I think it's a terrible thing. I think people should go out and perform to the best of their abilities and let the chips fall as they may. And at the same time, if you want to run backing tracks along with your music as you're playing, to a minimal extent, there's nothing wrong with that. But when the lead vocal is being lip synced, there is something really wrong with that, especially when people are paying $17,000 to see you. This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.